Hello everyone and welcome to another interview here on Coin Bureau, and I'm joining you here at the head office of OKX in wonderful Singapore, and I'm joined today by a very special guest, Mr. Jeff Reng. He is the partner at OKX Ventures. So Jeff, welcome to the Coin Bureau and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks Nick, thanks for having me.
Cool, so OKX Ventures is obviously the ventures arm of the OKX exchange, and Jeff, for the people for our viewers watching, I'd just like to explain to them exactly what OKX Ventures is and what they do within the OKX group.
Sure. So OKX Ventures is essentially a corporate venture, and we invest off the OKX balance sheet. So we don't have outside investors, no third party that we need to answer to. And let me to introduce what OKX does, OKX Ventures does. Let me take one step back to hopefully give the viewers a more holistic view about what we do at OKX. So we're one of the largest exchanges with longest history. When I say longest history, that is by crypto standard, like from very old time, which is 2012, and we've been around, and we are probably one of the most trusted exchanges, handling the transactions in both spot and derivative space. But in the meantime, the firm has spent tremendous resources in the past few years, in the what we call the Web3 wallets, which boast the self-custody, and within the wallet we support over 100 like public chains, and there is a swap and the bridge functions, and other functionalities that I think for the users starting from crypto curious to the very experienced users, they find the wallet very easy to onboard but also good to use. So here at OKX Ventures, we basically help formulate, execute, and promote the firm's strategy, and so it's covers the areas like supporting new ideas, new technology, foster the growth of community, and keep the users of OKX product lines in different product lines to better engage, I guess, with the firm.
Okay, got it. So basically your mandate is trying to make investments in the venture space that align with the goals of OKX broader group.
Yeah. Absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that stuff within, is there like particular narratives or particular sectors within the cryptocurrency space that you focus particularly on? Is it because you spoke about the OKX wallet? Mm-hmm. Is that specifically in the DeFi space, in the infrastructure space, or what sort of sectors are you kind of focused on right now?
For now, I think on the CeFi side or on the exchange side, I think our investment focus would be how to improve the user's experience, and how to get the best execution in place and improve liquidity, so on and so forth. So we're supporting and investing on the infrastructure side. That we for the fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, for the execution, for the trading signals, all these data and technologies around that trading experience. On the DeFi side, at the same time, I think we are working with all the existing or the up-and-coming DeFi kind of protocols, and thanks to the functionality of our wallet, if you remember last year, we started to capture the ever-growing kind of interest into the Bitcoin innovation and the layer 2s, right? For all nodes, I think at one point in time, our wallet had over very significant market share, thanks to the technicality kind of feature of our wallet. So in line with that, I think our venture team also kind of work very closely with our product team and the growth team to capture what is not just to capture the hot and the heat in the market, but also to invest and enable entrepreneurs and projects to be better integrated with the bigger kind of a OKX ecosystem.
Okay, that's interesting, yeah, because I think that it's great in the sense that obviously OKX, most other exchanges that have big balance sheets, they'll just go and create a ventures arm to basically just go and invest in anything, right? Just try and get yield wherever it is, or returns on investment wherever it is. Where you guys have strategically tried to go and invest in projects that are going to help the broader group, right?
Yes.
With your goals and especially with the bridge between TradFi and CeFi and DeFi.
Yeah.
Just coming back, because you mentioned Bitcoin layer 2s, and it's a very interesting sector because obviously it's now blowing up, right, in terms of the Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem, building on top of Bitcoin. What do you think about what's going on in the Bitcoin layer 2 space right now? Have you invested in any particular projects in the Bitcoin layer 2 space?
Sure. We probably reviewed, over close to 50 of them, and we're an investor in very early, and some of the deals. I probably wouldn't name the name, but I think the most, I guess, a couple of them already listed their tokens, and others are increasing the user base. So I think if we are sitting here 2 years from before, nobody would even think of an idea of so-called Bitcoin layer 2, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing about the crypto in general, or Web3 in general. We still consider the worldview of distinguish things, put things into 3 big buckets. So it's Bitcoin, there's crypto, and blockchain, right? So I think we, for the longest time, we focused very much on the crypto, all the layer 1, layer 2 kind of narratives, and DEX and protocols, so on and so forth. But I think all the great guys and innovators and community come together and refocus on the Bitcoin, and on this, and coincide with the recent events around putting ETF around Bitcoin and all that. I think that what that, at least I think for the viewers to understand, is that nothing is set. And we're still early, right? We always say that, but I think what has evolved in the Bitcoin space is the true kind of evidence of that. That there are still more things to come. So we invite the developers and the investors and the folks new to the space to be patient, and also be more stay on the curiosity side, and open to new ideas and developments. And yeah.
Crypto Podcast.
Okay, welcome to the Bro Crypto Podcast. I'm Chadimus Maximus, go by MaxChad100 on Twitter.
And I am GigaDick, the dude with the biggest P&L in all of crypto.
Bro, say what? My P&L is 100% bigger than yours.
Bro, please. I was longing Doge and drinking neat Belvedere while you were still spot buying BTC on Mount Gox, bro.
Bro, you still driving a 2020 Aventador. Where's your Bugatti at?
Bro, when bonk hits $1, I'm gonna be rocking a super yacht while you're still stuck in traffic, bro. The Bro Crypto Podcast is sponsored by the Coin Bureau Deals page. If you're looking for trading fee discounts of up to 70% and sign-up bonuses of up to $100,000 and amazing discounts on hardware wallets, then don't be a bro, be in the know, and check out the link in the description below. And now, back to the show. Bro Crypto Podcast.
Bro.
Bro.
Bruh.
Bro.
Bro.
Bro!
Yeah, we're very bullish in the Bitcoin L2 space. Literally billions of capital that can be unlocked to secure other projects and build on top of.
And also to bring to kind of do the treasury management for so many other foundations, right?
Yeah.
So it's huge. Yeah.
No,
There's
of course,
no
yeah.
limit. Yeah.
So obviously Bitcoin layer 2 is a popular narrative in crypto, and crypto usually moves within narratives, and invest in frameworks also move within narratives, right? Because what's maybe the flavor of the month last year, maybe not be so much now, and you need to try and track what's going on. So I guess this brings us into some broader crypto narratives then. Which crypto narratives, kind of sectors again, but narratives do you think are going to be popular over the next year or two? What you guys are particularly bullish on?
Yeah, I think it's really the utility. I think at the end of the day, the application, how and whether it can resolve like real life issues, right? I mean, people talk about AI in these days and how it could interact with crypto. But if you, if we talk about things like this, you need to understand like very basic ideas. Like in AI, it's all about we all know that data is computing power, is algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So where blockchain can be helpful or can support or kind of deal with the kind of a bottleneck in each and every sector of these three things? Or are you creating a new narrative for AI, right? Is there a fourth factor? Is there any way that can change the way that these things interact? So those are the fundamentals that we're looking at. So when we talk about a subject, let's say real world asset, so what are we talking about? We're talking about currency, great, stable coin, right? Then what's the real use case of stable coin? Yeah. Other than adding on to the trading pairs on the exchanges. Sure. And then, is the securities, right? Digital securities, which already is capable of being traded 24/7 globally. So what blockchain can add on that? Is there scalability? Is there security? What are we talking about, right? And then what are the other real world asset are we talking about? So in my view, personal view, is really things like carbon, right? For things that's hard to understand for the public. They need something. Tokenization might be the perfect way for people to visualize that, to get a sense of it, to touch it, and also because of there's so many different standards, there's so little liquidity. And you need a new value to be created, and also align interest, among different stakeholders, which beg the question that where are we trying to use blockchain to kind of at least target as some part of those problems. So I think just like in any tech investment, I think we focus on the utility part, right? What specific problems are you addressing to, and how you're gonna do it, right? It's not the Rome is not building one day. We all know that, but at least directionally give people that. Another thing, I think that's the technicality part. And the other thing is really about crypto Web3 is the community building, right? Thanks to the way the world is structured and people interact are based on technology, right? I mean, you and I wouldn't meet each other without airplanes and without air cons, right? And we're going to be sweating under palm tree, on the beach of Singapore somewhere, drinking coconut. But so we're who we are today, and then blockchain, AI, what can that change? Not just narrative, but really like how people interact, like how a group of people can get organized, how the ideas can be exchanged, how the value can be created. So I think DAO is already no longer a new concept, but what are these new things can actually create new value, new ideas, new substance into all these seemingly stale concept already in Web3, but how can we kind of continue to sustain those early concepts, I guess.
Right. So tokenization of real world assets, you mentioned that as one you guys are particularly interested in. Another one obviously slightly tangential to that is DePIN, so decentralized physical infrastructure. Yeah. You guys also interested in that sector?
Absolutely, yes.
Are you looking at projects in that sector as well?
Yes. We supported some of the earliest kind of DePIN tokens as investor, and also ecosystem fund. And I think the idea about DePIN is that how you take data, right? How you look at the relationship. The blockchain, we all know it's be the most credible kind of network to store and to transmit and to process data. And do we trust the human more, or do we trust the machine more, right? If one day that human driving cars become illegal, people always say that with the autopilot and auto driving, then DePIN, I think what it matters is that it's actually the way that the machine starts to kind of be the first and last checkpoint on the data into the system, in and out of the blockchain system. I think that's the critical part of it, and it's such a concept that can also on the community side involve more people, right? Yeah. So the stakeholders into any data system, no longer government, business, but also individuals. And if we change the weight of the data that goes into the system, then you will see a very dramatic kind of a change of how people kind of evaluate their involvement, their contribution to something, and you get a different data set out of it. So I think that's very, very fundamental to how we gonna, how the society, how the business is gonna move forward.
Okay, very interesting, man. It's kind of switching gears a little bit, obviously, because you obviously know a lot about venture investing. You know, OKX has invested like one of the most prolific investors in the Web3 space in terms of like the ventures arm. So you obviously have a lot of experience in terms of what you've gathered over the past few years, and you obviously get pitched hundreds of projects. I'm sure just walking around Token, you probably everyone wants to speak to you. So if there's just 3 pieces of fundamental advice you can give for someone who's getting started in crypto investing, or just venture investing, but crypto investing more broadly, what would it be?
I think, I moderated a panel the other day, so people were asking me whether product or narratives, so which is more important, right? To me, I think at the end of the day, you know, we don't expect a venture team that is, a startup is, a venture project is like perfect in day one. You know, you got your ideology right, you got your team right, you got your technology, everything right. But you got to show me something. You don't need to tell us what's hot. I mean, OKX and the venture team here, you know, we are the marketplace. We try to be transparent and try to be kind of friction-free to reflect what the market, as we understand, are looking at things. Yeah. So we kind of get that. But we want someone to tell us like what exactly you plan to do and how you want to do it. It's actually just 2 things. And you know, then I think we can help you with a couple of things. One, you know, for earlier deals, don't focus too much on like how much I'm worth now, right? How much I'm worth 5 months from now. Right, people kind of focus on that when they talk to like investors, like how much money I need and how much how we're valued at this particular point and how much more 100 times or whatever return you expect to give to people. We are less, we care less about that. We care more about what kind of value you're going to generate out of your business, and also what kind of support you need from us. The resources. Resources goes way beyond the dollars or the tokens that you expect, course, right? Yeah. And you know, what kind of a resource you need, what kind of community you're looking at. You know, have you decided on which chain you're going to build on your project, or you're creating a layer 1? Why your layer 1 is, you know, so much more, you know, revolutionary or different, fundamentally different from the others, right? You know, it's not gonna work if you say, you know, TPS or these other functionality you expect to exceed through the roof. You need to tell me to achieve that, you know, what are the obstacles or what are the extra resources that you would require, all right? And so those really are, you know, when someone come to me and say, oh, Jeff, you know, OKX Ventures would love to have you on our cap table, like I'm honored, flattered, but why, right? Like what can we do? Because our daughter probably is as green as others. Yeah. Like what extra thing that you're doing that? And the people come to us, you know, certainly they have expectations on things like, you know, the liquidity access, the listing status, and so on and so forth. I mean, I just want to say this loud and clear. You know, our investment process and decisions very much independent. You know, whether you have planned to list here at OKX or at any other listing venue, it has nothing to change our view on the project itself and the market moving forward. Because, you know, exchange for the longest time is the liquidity hub, and people come here. But when I talk to people, I always encourage them to find different liquidity kind of platforms, right? DEX being one, perpetual, there are just so many other venues they could explore. And fundamentally, if the tokens are of the utility value as some of them claim or kind of believing, go back to your community, right? Go talk with them and go find them and increase the business case of your project so that your tokens have better usage in utility function, right? Value going to come with it. The time that the euro that you list on some, you know, exchange or some venue that you're going to get that guaranteed is no longer here.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate to
Makes
say
sense.
that. Yeah.
You need to create long-term demand for a token.
Absolutely.
Utility is the most important.
Yeah.
Tokenomics.
Tokenomics.
So, but then just coming back to this, so in terms of a stage of investments, like, so do you, because you said you want to have like, do they have to have a product built or something like an MVP of some description, minimum value product, or do you also invest in it also to other investors, like, or would you suggest that they can like a seed round with projects who don't have a product yet, or do you want to first see some building having taken place, some token, economics white paper drawn out?
Yeah, we don't have a mandate that kind of restricting us from doing one way or the other. But I think for firms of projects at different stage, we'll use different methodology, and also we work very closely with other stakeholders in the ecosystem, other VCs, other exchange, other their second time founder, a serial entrepreneur. We look at their past projects and so on and so forth. Okay. And sometimes it's if it's from a layer one ecosystem, we kind of tend to work with the foundation and kind of studios to understand where they are and how they engage. We also invest in some of the public goods kind of protocols. For example, we invest that I can say in Gitcoin, right, which is the largest developers community, and we kind of try to engage, learn the way that how a centralized business, how can we play in a very decentralized setting, right? So where's the boundaries, how you want to be helpful but not overstep the line, fine line there.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's the advice that you can give them in terms of finding good projects and like being a venture investor. But now, slightly related to that, obviously, what's probably more important than actually like finding good projects is knowing what to avoid, right? Because there's lots of hype, there's lots of FOMO, there's lots of people with big promises in crypto. And there's suddenly the next best 100x layer one with 10,000 TPS. So, I mean, what are some red flags, be it from the way things are pitched, or in terms of the deck, or in terms of just the narrative being pushed by a project? If there are like quick red flags for you that raise up when someone's talking to you about a project, or you've been pitched a project, or something that you can quickly immediately dismiss it, being like, okay, this is something we don't want to look at, or even somewhere down the line you discover, actually no, this is something that we gotta pull a plug on.
Yeah, I think data is one. We at OKX, I just explained that we have a wallet product. So at OKX Wallet, we have different features that can help a project to kind of on the proof of concept stage or at the beta stage, and that is a perfect platform channel to kind of validate the project and get initial user feedback. And during that stage, the red flag will be, certain data that would not make sense, either too high or just coming from the regions that there is no reason to be there. And I think those are the red flag. I think we have certain tools that we do, but a more kind of on the more soft side, I think it all depends on like how the project got introduced to us. Whether it's through a some of the friends or partners focus more on the project itself, or more pitching on the upside that they kind of alluded to, right? I mean, as I said, I kind of turned deaf ear to those parts. Yeah.
Exactly. Someone who pitches, okay, so all the hype and dreams, that's amazing. Like
all the buzzing word like appeared on headline, in the past week. So
they should get, if someone's
then they
pitching,
come to me.
if someone's pitching to Jeff, they should bring the devs, the head devs, not the marketers, not the BDs. So, okay, now just switching up a little bit and moving a bit more to the macro perspective, right? And obviously the main way for investments to make a return from the venture side is, going altcoin season, right? This elusive altcoin season everyone seems to be talking about, where altcoins rally, Bitcoin dominance falls, and we see multiple gains across the altcoin space. Now, there's a lot of opinions out there, and I'm curious to get your take on when do you think we could see an altcoin season of some description?
Yeah, when we talk about altcoin, in our view, we kind of put things, not look at the, we still look at who they are and what they do, right? That fundamentals. I mean, there are layer ones that are, Ethereum ecosystem is huge. Our founder just had this, panel with Vitalik, and we work very closely with, we build X layer, using CDK of Polygon, for example. So we're kind of really into the entire kind of Ethereum ecosystem, where we work very closely with the other layer ones. Solana, we had this accelerate program with L2s and with Tong. We're working closely with their foundation and the kind of building team as well. So thanks to these interactions, I think we're not from what I just explained, it sounds very much like we're passive sitting here, like you come to me, right? Yeah. Like as you described, but it's not just that. I mean, we actively engage with the projects and ecosystems, and just learn while we kind of engage and interact. So we kind of get a sense, right, with the data and the real effort, from the core members, and how the execution team is structured, and what kind of approach they're using, addressing different regions and demographic targets. So I think we have some, fortunately, we start to form some house view on projects, on specific kind of tokens, I guess, and all that. So we remain very positive, optimistic on many and some of these names that I mentioned, and I think the token price is driven by a lot of things, right? Macro, as you said. I think we are as an exchange, we facilitate the tradings. We make sure it's the best pricing discovery, it's best execution, and the security and the compliance is on top of our mind. Then that would not necessarily change our view of the projects fundamentally, and we would also encourage investors. There are different types of investors, and there's no wrong or right or wrong, right? It's all your investment decision, the kind of a return you expect, and the risk you're willing to take, right? I think for anyone to go into take a position, really, really look at the fundamentals, but also the market, like how you see that. And how we see the market is that the developer, there are more and more new people coming to this, from TradFi, from Web2, from the big tech giants, founders, developers alike. They all they actually start to take very serious look at it and actively engage, taking cautious steps, but actively engage. So I think with that, there is no reason to doubt that the people are flocking away. Young talents is going to AI, not to going to crypto or blockchain anymore. No, I don't think that's the case. And we see more and more people coming, right? And making this space more competitive, more kind of healthy in that sense. You don't see a couple big guys, big boss, big shot just dominate these narratives. I think that has kind of evaporated, right? There are more and more voices. There are more discussions, debates even in the space. So I think with that, I think fundamentally we remain very positive, optimistic. Whether there are other external factors like different countries, government policies, elections, very, very isolated kind of bad actor kind of instances, black swan, all that, that is the same kind of risk that you go into any investment, right? Yeah. That's something hard to predict, but it's always there. You just need to smartly factor into that risk factor.
Yeah. Tail risks, black swans are going to be there. You can never account for them because they're black swans.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So
they are there.
They're there,
but don't know when, how.
You can't base your entire investment mandate based on just these black swans. You
absolutely.
the risks in. But I want to come back to an interesting point you had there in terms of excitement for the builders and people still coming into the crypto space despite the hype around AI and all these other spaces. And I think that Token2049 encapsulated that, being here and seeing all the excitement around the project teams and the projects building out here and presenting. So what was your key takeaways from Token, this particular one?
Yeah, I think Bitcoin narratives is, I wouldn't say dominant, but it takes lion's share of the conversations we see here. And I attended quite some side events and try to look at, and there are many new, not just projects, but the new GPs, new investors. When I say new, they're new to the event, but they've been around for a while, right? So kind of people take Token2049 as the venue to gather and to exchange ideas and to take something more into the substantive kind of conversation as opposed to meet and greet and just try to have a good time. I think in the good old days, and I think that's good. And because I think a market is one thing, and also a slight, brief but a colorful history of crypto. Actually give people, there's enough data or enough experience people can draw from, right, to reflect where we are. So it's a bigger context. So I feel people are more secured, calm, take that way, and it's hard to say right now is a slow bear or slow bull, right? But it's a market I was staying, and I think as much as people kind of complain or worry about the uncertainties, everyone still have something really concrete on hand to talk about, to exchange ideas and to keep building on that, right? And so I think we're right in that juncture. We say, you're building the bear and you kind of a market the bull and all that. I think we're kind of in the middle. People kind of still building and still kind of building product, building on the narratives, and actively kind of exchange idea, try to discover something, the next big thing. It's always there. We all have faith in that, but we're also all working very hard to find that next big thing.
Yeah, no, and there's no better place to see that than IRL at these events and meeting the passion and seeing the passion from the teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. Yeah.
So just one quick question to round off on, and this is kind of philosophical as well, because we both actually share a background in the sense that we both worked in TradFi and then we moved into crypto. And what's been happening increasingly over the past few years, 2-3 years particularly, is the institutionalization of crypto, right? Think about the ETFs, think about all the large TradFi institutions, investment banks, etc., that are getting involved in crypto trading, and all these ETF providers now utilizing custodians, all centralized. So it's becoming quite centralized, right? Which is kind of the antithesis to what crypto originally was meant to be, decentralized money for everyone, right? So how do you square that circle, and how do you, what do you think about this broader institutionalization of crypto?
Right. I think institutionalization of the crypto, I think is only one part of the story. You and I got into crypto, because of the technical part of it, aspect and the promise that generate. The assets that created, or the positions, financial positions that created or made possible, I think naturally and inevitably would be, because it's a free market, it's how things work, naturally they're going to be captured largely by the TradFi, because they've been around, that's what they do, and that's their mandate, right? But that's not everything, right? And you and I would agree, Bitcoin is not that token or that coin that's hold. It's a much bigger network, much bigger system, and that create all these possibilities. These possibilities, I do not see this diminished. Rather, it's increased or mushroomed, exploded in recent years, because all the good developers, community members, stakeholders coming, and they can still build on that. I always make an analogy like Bitcoin in old days, we feel it's a gold, right? You can't kind of generate a kind of derivative kind of benefit out of it. But in recent years, we would agree that it becomes a piece of land, right? And that you can see TradFi guys like developers. They got hold of a piece of land and they want to build things on top of that. That's great, right? They build hotels, residentials, everything, shopping malls. But for our crypto guys, we want to hold on this land because we're going to grow good stuff out of it, right?
Yeah.
We're going to grow crops or fruits, and there may be some waters that we can dig out of it. They create all the possibilities. And I think, it's okay. It's okay. People create a financial product on that and trade on it, but it's also okay for people hold on it or continue to kind of exploit or generate new value out of it. I think probably that's where I want to share with the viewers or with Nick Yu about my view of TradFi, right? They are one stakeholder, and they are here in a sense to contribute to build as well. Welcome them, embrace them, but they can't do it all, right? And it still takes the developers, the communities, the holders, the traders even, to kind of generate the value out of it. So I guess that cannot be monopolized, and I hope our friends at the TradFi, the big whales, big sharks, understand that part as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it's open for everyone. It's a permissionless protocol, so they're going to get involved either way. So they may as well embrace it. And if they're going to help bring along positive regulations potentially, because they have the right connections, and because if you institutionalize an asset, people more feel comfortable investing in it, right? So we would not have got the ability for now to invest in a Bitcoin through an ETF, which is not possible 2 years ago. It's bought for that much more forward in terms of adoption. So, we just have to embrace it as well, I suppose.
Yeah, and also to the point, just to add one last point, is that it's really the investors' education. It's really the education to not just the investor but regulators and other stakeholders, right? And and this brings to the headline, brings to the topic, improve people's awareness. I'm not saying they're going to be the one that rubber stamp the authenticity or legality of all these assets, but at least they create a topic, right? More people are going to talk about it, and there will be last thing we want is that people take crypto up to today is still like a cult. It's very isolated or sidelined kind of a creepy ideas, right? The people, young schoolers start to talk about it, right? At school, to their teachers, going back to their family, talk to their parents, try to understand, try to learn that. I think that brings the real hope. And the TradFis and all these big boys coming, can they crash this time? We don't know, right? Let's try. But but at least we're welcomed to the party. Yeah.
Wow, thanks, man. What a great way to end, man. Thank you so much, Jeff. It's been a great interview. And enjoy the rest of your time here in Singapore. And are you going to the F1?
Certainly hope for. And McLaren gonna win, man.
There you go. That was another very good investment by OKX. They got the good one on that. So probably arguably as good as their crypto investment. So,
That's good.
So thanks a lot for this. Really appreciate it, and hope you guys enjoyed this. And enjoy. Cheers.
Appreciate it.